All right, when I was young, there were three things that gave me nightmares on a regular basis. One, VeggieTales. Yes, that VeggieTales. Two, Barney. And three, a little known PS1 game involving an endless void and a rapidly encroaching wall of cubes. I think it's time I deal with that last one. Intelligent Qube, or Karushi as it's known in Europe, is an action puzzle game released for the original PlayStation that's pure nightmare fuel. Imagine waking up in a dark void on a platform with a wall of relentless cubes coming towards you. Your only way through is one bomb at a time that you set and you manually detonate to blast your way through while trying to eliminate as many cubes as possible. When I sat down to fire up this game thanks to the PlayStation Classic for the first time in years, I was nervous. This game has always sat in the back of my mind since I played it on a PS1 demo disc back in the day. It's always just been that game that I never understood, but more importantly, the one that preyed on two of my biggest fears, the dark and heights. And as that first initial kicks in, I'm that kid back in the basement. I'm 29 now. I should be able to play this game. And I broke it down to the process. The process? Mark the square. 2. Hopefully hit an advantage cube, but at least hit a regular cube. 3. Remove as many cubes as possible. And 4. Repeat. Now, Intelligent Qube has 8 stages that I'm going to call are divided into 4 rounds, which each have varying amount of waves in them. And those waves have a varying amount of cubes. And at the beginning, it's 2x4. Really, really easy. Early on, probably about 2 waves in, I noticed that initial fear that was flashing back to when I was a kid and playing this game and not understanding was gone. Now, this was unusual. I was just kind of in a flow state, enjoying the game and playing a puzzle game. Same way I'd play Tetris, same way I'd play Guitar Hero, just kind of hitting a flow state and just blasting my way through these cubes. Until early on, I think it's the 3rd or the 4th wave, I got cocky. When you're destroying these cubes, you want to destroy as many of the advantage and the normal cubes as possible while avoiding the danger cubes. Every cube that falls off the end fills up what I call a danger meter. And this danger meter, when full, will remove a row of tiles off the back of your platform, shrinking your play space and forcing you to get more up close and personal. The only ones that contribute to this are the regulars and the normal and the advantage cube that would fall off. While danger cubes are supposed to fall off the end. You capture those, you'll lose a row automatically. But if you get crushed by the cubes, the game stops before everything goes full bore off the edge of the cliff. And every cube, including the ones you're not supposed to destroy, counts towards that meter. And you watch that meter just fill up and fill up and fill up as row after row after row comes off the end. And you're sitting there praying that you did not just fuck the game up. I do not have those fear of heights and the dark as much as I used to. But the fear I experienced in that moment of being crushed was different. You see, for most of my life, I was labeled as the gifted kid. I went to a specific program for gifted students when I was in elementary school. As a high schooler, I was constantly in classes ahead. I was taking college classes. But once I got into the real world, I realized it's not going to be as easy. And I've definitely developed a fear of being a failure. Hearing that moment of silence shook me to the same way that the dark and the heights shook me as a kid. I remember the first time I did it, pausing the game and being like, hey, you fucking idiot. With less laughing because I was actually beating myself up. And I realized that the fears I had as a kid had been replaced by that fear of failure. The same fear of failure that has me afraid that if I make one mistake at work, that I will not be able to provide for my fiance and our cats, that I cannot make anything worth anyone's time, that I am a failure of a person. The same way that I will apologize to my friends if I mess up. And it's not like, sorry, I bumped into you. It's like, man, I think I might have thrown the match for us because I made one tiny mistake. But I kept going. My fear of failing in my idea for playing this game was stronger than my fear of messing up in the game. And mess up I did. I got crushed time after time. I fell off the edge time after time. I saw IQ scores as low as 30 in some of these instances, and it was brutal. This game took a lot out of me. And did I beat it? No. I got to stage 7, which I was honestly impressed with because some of the patterns I was pulling off were like, I can't believe I just did that. I got to stage 7, and after probably about 2 hours of trying to beat it, I threw in the towel. And I don't think I'll be going back. I would very much like to stick with my other games of Little Gator Game and Short Hike. I'd rather stick with those games because there's not the fear of failing in that I will be scored on it. And I think I realized that the nightmares we have as kids are just the things that we don't know as kids. And the fears we have as adults, unfortunately, are partially the things we do know. Will IQ haunt my nightmares in the future? No. Did it just highlight the things that haunt my nightmares now? Absolutely. Am I proud of how far I got in that game? Absolutely. Stage 7 is the furthest I've ever gone in my life. Will I be coming back to it? No. Which is okay. It's a fun game if you like it. I never thought that I'd be going in to face my own nightmares and realizing this game just kind of plays on my actual nightmares now. If you want to watch a happier video about me reminiscing on games from my past, I believe it's going to be right up here. Yeah, right up here. You should be seeing a nice little video about me reflecting on some games. Go ahead and check it out. But until then,